Hey guys, Jay the Fish Guy here. Alright, so today we're doing an upgrade on a client system. They have a 150 upstairs, and this is their basement sump setup that they have. I did not put this in. It did not do this originally. We're just trying to work with what we have and make things a little better for them. So on the left side here, that was their skimmer side. They had an old ASM, I'm not sure which series skimmer it was, but hadn't been working for actually a very long time, I guess. The center chamber had a deep sand bed. The sand bed was literally up to here and was just awful. Zero mechanical filtration. I've been here once already, and now this is 2 weeks later with new equipment and a game plan to fix things up. So I put the filter sock on last time. They actually changed it out once in the time I was gone, just to get some mechanical filtration, try to polish things up. And long term, what the plan is, what we're going to install today, I have a 7-inch filter sock holder that we're going to put over here. We're going to replumb the drain line to make it a little more friendly to where the sock holder is going to be. So we're going to do a 7-inch sock. That'll be the left chamber here. Center chamber will be our skimmer chamber. And then we'll keep the foam block in place, at least temporarily, because I'm still stirring things up upstairs, trying to get things settled out up there. And this will just be where the heater will sit for now. We're also doing a carbon reactor. One of the Aquamax versions. I think I got a review video coming out shortly, so got to do some processing, but we'll have a review video on that, as well as the skimmer that we're putting in today, which is one of the Bubble Magus Curve series. One thing I want to mention, let's look at this real quick. This is from years years of just simply the water coming out of the end of this drain pipe, which is, nice and solid. Water coming out of the drain pipe and just bubbles splashing again and again and again, and that kicks up and gets this damp and loads this. This is just basically, you can see it's nice and soft and squishy now. It's not really supposed to be that way. Another interesting tidbit of information, you can see electrical all around here. I have a sensitivity to stray electricity. When I have my fingernails cut short, or if I have, cuts or nicks, if I touch something that there's even a mildest electrical current going through, I can tell, I can pick up on it. And right now, this is actually picking up stray current because there's so much salt creep saturated into this wall. Something is wrong here somewhere. I'm no electrician, but I did make the owner aware of it. There is actually electrical current passing through. Right there. There is current passing through this wall board somehow, some way, and it's actually because of the salt creep over the edge of the sump is actually jumping into the water as well, because right now we're completely shut down. There's no water, making the connection upstairs, for the drain or the return. Heater's unplugged, and I can still feel stray, when this was full, stray current in the water as well. So that definitely needs to get addressed at some point. So that's the initial, again, after the cleaning and what the game plan is, and I'll make another quick video here after we get everything put in. All right, so I picked the placement for the filter sock holder. This is an Aquamax filter, apparently Skukak holder, 7-inch. If anybody from Marine Depot is watching, you might want to respell sock on those labels. So, 7-inch filter sock holder. I think they retail for right around 30 bucks. Really nice, really, even though this is kind of have a weird lip, a little bit thicker, thin at the top, the screws still set in nice and really, really firmly attached that once the filter stock starts getting heavier, it's not going to go anywhere. So now we're going to have to cut and replumb. What I'll end up doing is cutting here, leaving some room so we can just keep that union in place. They're nice to have, so there's no reason to ditch that completely. And then instead of using 90s, I'm going to rebuild this with I think 345s. I should be able to do it. So we're going to go left and then forward technically, and then back down. And ideally we'll be able to just center it right in the middle. Have that last bottom of that 45 be about here, and then I'll put a pipe actually that's just pressure fit in there, not glued, that'll go down into the sock below water level to kind of reduce splashing, because you don't want water falling from up here. So even though it's a little less convenient to take the sock out because you have to take that tube out, it reduces this significantly. So that's the goal here. Another thing I wanted to mention, I've shown it in a few other videos, or at least one that I know of. Whenever I'm doing PVC work, this is a newer product that Oatly came out with. I only found it recently in the last 6 months in the plumbing section of Lowe's. I don't know how long it's been out, but this is a single step PVC cement. So no having to worry about using a cleaner first and then using a glue. You do it all in one step. It's clear for anybody that's ever used the primers. If you've been unfortunate enough to use the purple one, the stuff just goes everywhere if you're not careful, or if you haven't done it before and you just don't have the experience. And I hate the look of just purple primer running everywhere. So this is nice because, you know, just put it on both sides of the fitting or on the pipe and then the fitting, and you're good to go. Single step, easy peasy. Alright, all done, all plumbed, all glued into place. Took maybe about 10 minutes total. So you literally come down with the 45, another 45, and down into your sock. And it's low enough that it should be below the water line, especially as the filter sock starts getting clogged and it goes up a little bit higher. Definitely won't be having nearly as much splashing as what was going on before. And you can even still take out the sock without taking that pipe off. If the pipe becomes pretty well wedged in there, if you maybe don't change the socks out very often, you can still get it in and out. Oops, a little harder to do one-handed, but you get the idea. Even without taking this pipe out. But that's critical, because you don't want it above the level of the sock, because especially even as the sock fills up and is overflowing over the top, if you let it go that long, then you're just got splashing everywhere. And this close to the top of the sump, this is what happens. So now we're going to get our skimmer in place. This is just a little homemade skimmer stand. This is my go-to when I need to make one. Literally a piece of egg crate, some pieces of PVC. You drill a hole all the way through on the top, and then just zip tie around the egg crate. I've seen people get creative and use silicone or super glue or what have you, but nothing beats a good old zip tie. And it's quick and it's easy. There's no waiting. If you need to address the height, you know, you can always make the legs a little bit long, and then you just, you know, if you have to, all right, I need to go down an inch, you know, mark an inch off on every single leg. They don't have to be perfectly straight. Once it gets in there and settled, the skimmer just kind of weighs it down and you don't have to worry about it. So easy, quick skimmer stand for when your water level is going to be way too deep for a skimmer. Alright, so skimmer is assembled, put in place, ready to go on the skimmer stand. I'm going to leave it right where it is for the height until I get things filled back up and running again, and then if I deem it necessary, I can drop it down. It may be a little on the high side, but we'll wait and see. Heater's in place. I mean, she already had the heater. I'd like to keep it in a area where you just have the highest flow. You know, all the water's coming through the sump, down over, and just rushing right by. That way you get a good, accurate temperature in your tank, and you don't have like a stagnant area where it's just, you know, heating the same water over and over again. Sometimes that can happen inside the tank if the flow isn't that good, or even in certain areas of a sump if it's not a high flow area of the sump as well. Alright, so skimmer is on. It's going to have to go through its break-in period. Everything's running again. You can see that the output is just below the water level, which is enough to make it so there's very, very minimal surface agitation, minimal splashing, and it's fairly far down inside the sock. Granted, it'll go up as the sock clogs, but again, should be very minimal, much less than what it was before. Media reactor is in place, carbon's running, just simply has a feed pump that's grabbing from the cleanest water, which is all the way on this end, wherever you're sucking with your return pump after all the mechanical filtration, the skimmer chamber, another foam piece. It's pulling the cleanest possible water that it can, and then I just simply have it dumping back into the skimmer chamber to circulate some more. That way it's just not simply dumping right back into the feed pump. I mean, some of it will, but not nearly as bad if it's just making a loop and literally spitting out and sucking up from the same spot. So that's the equipment upgrade for this system. Hope you guys liked the video. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.